Shalom, good evening. Welcome to A Faithful Life. My name is Amuna Yisrael, and this is the Proverbs Challenge, day number 12. We're a little bit late getting this in today, but again, today was the Shabbat, and I was resting, meditating, and now I'm back with some deep dug gem jewels that resonated in my spirit today, and I'm sharing, as I have been doing for the last 12 days. What stuck out to me was verse number 9. He that is despised and have a servant is better than him that honor himself and lack bread. Today, I would classify that as someone who's fronting. The vernacular when we was coming up is you fronting. It said it's better that the person who walk around with the skippies on, who look like, and by the way, a lot of rich people, really wealthy people, not rich, that's how they walk around. You would never know they had that much money. And that's how they keep their money. What stuck out to me about this scripture is that it says, he that is despised and have a servant is better than him that honor himself and lack bread. And the part about honor himself, it's, to me, what stuck out is another wise saying that self-praise is no recommendation. And when you honor yourself and you boast about yourself and all that you can do and everything that you're about, but in the end, you know what I'm saying, your credit cards are maxed out. In the end, you're really broke. In the end, you really don't own that car. In the end, bill collectors stay calling your house. And it's like, what is that for? When we were growing up, it was called fronting. And when I came to the South, they called it a poser. You're pretending. It's a pretense. It's a farce. And it says, he that is despised and hath a servant is better than that person. Nobody likes you, but yet still you're not fronting. It's better than the person who's talking all of this yin yang, as they would say, and at night you don't have anything to eat. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. What also stuck out to me was 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth to counsel is wise. The fool, we also saw before that he's known by the multitude of his words. He'll just talk, and be like, I'm right. And as long as he's right in his own eyes, that's all that matters. Even if that right is wrong, I don't really want to hear it. As long as I think I'm right, then it sounds good. It says, but he that hearkens to counsel is wise, because, we're not always right. And it's good to hear that, you're wrong in that area so that we can improve. But there's also a difference, and I think that a lot of us sometimes are resistant to what they call correction, because it's not really correction. It's really meant in a way to tear you down, because some people say, I'm giving you constructive criticism. But there's criticism that's constructive, and I believe that, I'm leading into the next verse that was my favorite. So let me go there first. I believe that's 17. It says, there is speech that's like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. So that leads me right there. Sometimes you're resistant, not to criticism, but it says there is speech like the piercing of a sword. Not all criticism is constructive, and sometimes we try to pass it off like, see, I'm only trying to tell you for your benefit. Really, it's because I really don't, whatever the real is, I feel indifferent, and so I'm gonna blaze you, and I'm gonna blow fire on you and hope you singe up, and then say it was for your good. It says no, there is the speech that's like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. So even if you're wise, the wise gives reproof, the wise gives correction, but how they give it is the key. That they don't tear and demolition man the person and then say, oh, come on, let me put you back together again. And I myself personally had to learn this from when I was younger to now, that there's a way in which you do things. Because you can slice a bread nicely, or you can tear that bread up and it be all crumbly on the thing. And then which one would you rather somebody put on your plate? The jaggy bread that they done jacked up and it's all crummy, or the nicely sliced bread that they took their time to slice in the proper way and presented to you? Some things are not presentable. Like I remember, I think it was the Cosby Show. I think it was the Cosby Show back in the days when he gave the analogy of somebody prepared a meal and put it on top of a garbage can top and said, here you go. And then say, oh, but I gave you food. But how did you give the food? And I think that's what I'm getting from this proverb. There is the speak like a piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. And it's basically how you, sorry, that's the baby. It's basically how you give the food. You know, how do you give the word? How do you deliver it? Sometimes you have to deliver it in a firm way. Yes, you can't always say, you know, I think I didn't like. Sometimes you do got to put your energy into it. Sometimes you got to give it a little oomph. You got to deliver it like they know you're serious. But you don't got to deliver with the ray. Okay, if you haven't guessed by now, yes, I'm of Jamaican descent. So if you hear it pop out from time to time, that's what it is. And this is one of them times. So sometimes they'll deliver it like, oh, and you're like, okay, that delivery was kind of, I don't know what it was meant for. But you don't have to go to that extreme to express, listen, I am discontented with the way you deliver. You know, you can use your words, like my baby's cartoon says, use your words, and you can use them with energy and emotion, because the Most High gave us energy and emotion, but not just recklessly. You know, there's a time and a place that when we are diligent or when we are patient to wait for the appropriated time, then we can deliver it. Now, whether or not they receive it, it's on them. And lastly, what stuck out to me was verse 22. Again, this proverb was full, but I think to me, I guess they were all sticking out because it was kind of a theme. But the last one is 22. Lying lips are an abomination to the Most High, but they that deal truly are his delight. Lying lips are an abomination to the Most High, but they that deal truly are his delight. Lying lips are an abomination to the Most High, but they that deal truly are his delight. It's kind of self-explanatory. But what stuck out to me was that word truly. And I like, some of the things that I use when I'm studying is a few sites. If you don't have an eSword, which is, it's like a concordance online that can give you, that would be good to download. I think it comes on your phone, and it also comes on your computer, an eSword. Also, there's a website called, and I believe I'll just put it in the link, it's called Scriptures for All, where it is that you can get the Hebrew if you're studying the Hebrew to try to understand more about the scripture. And so when I looked up the word truly, I found a little surprise today, and I'm going to share it with you because I was like, oh, look at that. It says, but they that deal truly are his delight. And I said, you know, I thought it was the word emet. So I thought I was going to share with you emet, which is the word for truth in Hebrew. But to my surprise, that word truly was not emet. The word truly was actually, yes, you guessed it, imuna. If you don't know, imuna means faith or faithfully. So when I saw that word, I said imuna. So I had to check the Hebrew on that one. I was like, oh, it does say imuna. Imuna appears 49 times based on what I looked up in the scripture. And this is one of those times in verse 22 of Proverbs 12. That word truly, that deal truly, or that deal faithfully. Faithfully in his law, faithfully in his word, it says are his delight. So 12 and 12, imuna, I'll put the spelling of how you, in the Hebrew, if anybody's interested, I think I'll put it right here, on the spelling of imuna and the Hebrew characters for imuna. And it means steady, firmness, security, moral fidelity, truth, and it means you're set. With that, I think I'm set. This was the Proverbs Challenge, day number 12. I hope we continue to grow and learn and explore new things in the Word. So everybody have a blessed day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe here. And if you have not seen the others, you can look right over here and you can see day 1 through 11. See you tomorrow. Shalom.